So, welcome along to the grand final preview for 2023 as the Wigan Warriors go up against the Catalan Dragons for the glory at Old Trafford. In a few moments' time, myself and Greg are going to be discussing this game in great detail. But before we do, well, let's start to get a little bit excited, should we?
Field is going to try and weave his way through, and he will! Oh my God! Pass with this game! 28th try of the season!
The Super League Grand Final 2023. Welcome along to this special preview show. Greg, with me for this one, game of the week. Well, there's only one game, so it had to be this one. It is game of the week. It's the Wigan Warriors against the Catalan Dragons. And I don't know about you, Greg, but I've got goosebumps already. I can't wait to get to Manchester.
I'm looking forward to this.
One.
I really am. Really looking forward to this game. And it's great to have a different team in there.
Absolutely.
And it's, you know what? It's great to have the top two. That's how it should be.
Indeed, we'll come to that. But actually, 2 years out of the last three, Catalan Dragons are there. So you've got to give credit to Steve McNamara and the team. What we're going to do in a few moments' time, guys, is we're going to be going right the way through these two squads. And me and Greg are going to try and make a bit of sense as to how this game could go and where the key battles are and how it could all shape out. But before we do that, of course, come Saturday, this will be the fourth time this season Wigan and Catalan have gone head-to-head, and it would be amiss of us not to relive the first three games. So now here's a special edition of The Last Battles. there we go, the last battles, and well, you know, different games all the way, really tight affair at the start of the season at the DW Stadium, of course, when Catalan were in absolutely fantastic form. If you remember, Greg, 5 wins on the spin for the Catalan Dragons in that period of time. A really tough match, that one. Of course, not Iqbalu, sorry, Manu Mao, 2 tries on that evening, really bad conditions at the DW. And then 2 blowouts.
Remember that, the snow, it was cold, wasn't it? It was freezing.
It was cold. It was a tough game. And then, of course, the 2 blowouts, you know, that's, you know, we're going to get into the detail in a minute. Catalan absolutely steamrolled them at Magic. Absolutely steamrolled them.
One of the greatest performances by a Catalan team I think I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting the way. So it's interesting the way Catalan season went, because of course they had those 5 on the spin, and then they went off the boil because I think in the next 5 they lost 4 and won only 1, and then they went up against, and then they had a little run in the middle of the season that really put them on everybody's radar again. They went to St. Helens on May the 5th and won 24 points to 12. They then beat Castleford and Wakey before that game at Magic, where they beat Wigan 46-22. And let's be fair, they gifted Wigan some tries at the end of that game. It should have been a far bigger margin than that. They then went the week after that to Hull KR and beat them 38-4, and then they went to Lee Leopards and beat them 38-30. That little run of games in the middle of the season for me made us all stand up and take note and go, hang on a minute, Catalan are in this. They mean business.
And I think going out the Challenge Cup helped them as well. I know they'd probably liked a good cup run, but I think going out the Challenge Cup really helped them. Yeah, because it kind of galvanised after that point and put a string of good results together, including the Magic weekend, which was I don't think anybody could have predicted that.
No, and of course the danger for Catalan is the fact that Wigan's good run has come right at the end of the campaign because now they're on a 10-game winning streak going into the final, and you know, you look at the way they played in that 10-game winning streak. I mean, there's a few that you can discount, the 64-6 KR when they were playing a KR team that was. But again, you talk about defining moments. We've just talked about when Catalan, that Wigan, OKR lead section, when Wigan went to Catalan and beat them 34-0 in their own backyard. That, for me, was a statement result. And from there, they haven't looked back. They beat Salford 26-8. They beat Leeds Rhinos 50 points to 0. Then they beat Cast. They expected them to beat Cast. And then a really good, tight affair at League 10-6. That was a belting game. Of course, the controversy game where the obstruction and all that lot. But yeah, I mean, Wigan timed it absolutely superbly well, haven't they, at the moment?
Well, Wigan have done what most grand final winners have done over the past however many years. They've hit form at the right time. Yeah. Some have done that to qualify in the top 6 and then go on to win it. Others have done it to finish top to go and win it. And you know, they have hit form just at the right time. I think Wigan they've strung it together. They're strong. They look strong. They've got no suspensions. I don't think they've got many injury doubts. I think that they are going to go into that game full of confidence.
Well, Steph's disappointed because of Sind talking about that 10-6 against Lee, but we'll move on. We will move on. Right, okay. I will guide you through this one, Greg. Here we go. Let's start looking through the team. Like I say, I think we can take a bit of a guide from what happened in the... what's that one? I can't remember that. Oh, yes. We'll start here from those semi-final squads. But yeah, head-to-head, you mentioned it a few moments ago. First against second. Look at the aggregate score. 66-64 is the aggregate score across those 3 games. Unbelievable. We would take a 2-pointer all day long.
I tell you what, if it's 66-64 on Saturday, we've got our money's worth.
Mate, you'll be wheeling me out. I'll be going Manchester Royal. Mate, unbelievable. 66-64. That's how tight this is. You know, 2 big blowouts, but very, very close. The bookies see this as a Wigan win 4-7, 6-4 Catalan Dragons. And I think based on League Leaders Shield and the form that we've just talked about, no real surprises there.
No.
Right, let's go through the squads. Now, the chances are it will be Sam Tompkins at fullback. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll go with it for the time being. And in this area, you know, Tompkins is not the fullback he once was. He tends to lay the ball off for Johnston and for Davies to do the hard meters out of backfield. He's more, and he plays more as a third half, really, in attacking transitions. Whereas Field is playing predominantly a bread and butter fullback role for Wigan Warriors. And it's a complete mismatch. I mean, those stats say it all. As Tompkins shown on Friday, he's got that bit of genius still in him. But Field takes this battle for me, without doubt.
Well, by a country mile.
Yeah.
By a country mile. I can't help thinking that this might just be a game too far for Sam. That's the kind of, that's a gut feeling I have.
We know what you're like with gut feelings, mate. We know what you're like. So
Catalan 46-0.
Steady. Right, we'll get to predictions later. Right, we've got more to do before we get to that. So yeah, I think it's advantage Field. However, big talk. We saw McNamara at the end of the game on Friday. Good point that actually. Somebody just mentioned there in terms of Dawn Baker saying, look at the error count, 12-31 in the favour of Tompkins. Spot on, Dawn. Great eye, fantastic. You're spot on there.
But the thing with that is not many Tompkins doesn't get under many high kicks.
Well, I think
it's usually Johnston it's usually Johnston that comes in from the wing to take the high kicks.
I think for me, Field is busier, and I think the fact that he's busier means
and it'd be interesting to see where they are. I think Field probably makes the errors further upfield and in the middle rather than Tompkins as well.
Yeah. But I mean,
but it's a damn good point.
Mate, Tompkins there, 20 games, only 12 errors. It's a great effort and showing his quality. However, Mitchell Pearce, big doubts. I mean, Mitchell Pearce supposedly played carrying knocks on Friday. Does he play Saturday? This is a big call for Steve McNamara, because for me, if Mitchell Pearce is not 100% fit, there is a massive argument Sam Tompkins into halfback and to bring this man in, Arthur Morg, at fullback. We've talked about all season. And when you look at Morg as a fullback is more dangerous than Sam Tompkins. Tompkins, we know he's got that bit of genius in him still. He's still got that. We saw it on Friday. If he's in the halves, maybe that's a better position for him to show that bit of spark.
Maybe.
Whereas if you look at Morg there and compare Morg to Field, Field still has Morg's number. But look at the tackle busts and look at the clean breaks versus Sam Tompkins. Comparing and contrasting Tompkins to Morg. Morg has had 3 tries more this season. Tompkins has made 4 more. Tackle busts, Morg has made 38 more tackle breaks. He's made 8 more clean breaks because he's got the legs to do it. And the consequence of that is he's made 935 more meters than Sam Tompkins in 2023. Yeah. So if Pearce is injured, it's not the end of the world, because for me, that gives McNamara the opportunity and maybe me pushing Sam up. And we saw what Morg did to St. Helens in Perpignan early in the season when he played.
I don't need to tell anybody I'm a massive fan of Arthur Morg. A massive fan of him. I think he's the player that Catalan build their team around for the next 10 years. He's an absolutely wonderful player. And that could very well be, if that's the case, that could be the masterstroke that McNamara. It could be a forced masterstroke. It could be forced, but we never know. I mean, I think I would start with Arthur Morg.
It's a big call, isn't it? Anyway, I think if Mitchell Pearce is fully fit because of his pedigree, because of where he's been, I mean, this is a big game.
It's a massive game.
You play Mitchell Pearce, you play Sam Tompkins, you put your big game players in there. Of course you do. If Mitchell Pearce is not 100% fit, going up against the Wigan Warriors side that we've already said, we've not even done the full analysis yet, is running white hot. For me, you've got to put Morg at fullback. You just have to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes playing your most experienced players, at 75% fit backfires on you, because the opposition has worked out a plan for them anyway. You throw a spanner in the works and put something like Arthur Morgan that they've not planned for.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be the stroke of genius that wins you the cup. Our coach is McNamara brave enough to do that?
Well, what I would say is that at the end of the way Mitchell Pearce has got to look at it, Sam Tompkins, rugby league isn't fairy tales. Rugby league is about medals. And of course, Mitchell Pearce will want to go out because, of course, he's retiring at the end of the season with a game at Old Trafford. But if he's not 100% fit, for me personally, it could be Arthur Morg. Really interesting. However, even if Morg does play, I think it betters them in a term of a fullback position. Yeah. Field takes that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're now going to move forward. We're going to move forward into the 3-quarter battle. And this, for me, is a big headache for Steve McNamara. And this, for me, is where the game could be won for Matt Peat. We know that if Catalan Dragons get on the front foot, they're a match for Wigan. They're a match for anyone. We know that. However, if Matt Peat nullifies the left edge of the attack of Catalan, he will be going some way to winning the grand final. 39 tries have come down the left-hand side of Catalan this season compared to only 20 on the right, Ikebalu and Davis. So if they can nullify the left edge of Catalan, that could be a masterstroke for Peat. The problem McNamara's got is they've got strike right across the pitch, Wigan.
Yeah.
39 tries, 38 on the other. It's that, we said at the start of the season when Wardle and King were put into Wigan, it was the back line to rival the back line of St. Helens. We said that.
Yeah.
These stats back that up. I mean, as a three-quarter line, and if you're Matt Peat, could you have hoped to see a balance like that at this point in the season? It's incredible.
Why they finished top.
Absolutely.
It's why they finished top. And probably why Catalan finished second, because they're stronger on one side. Yeah, maybe I don't think that Wigan need to bother about nullifying either side. I think they've got enough strength, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand totally what you say. I just think Matty Peat will go into this knowing that if Tom Johnson scores one, then Abasmitsky's probably going to score two.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think. Wardle has been outstanding. Wardle has been absolutely outstanding this season. For me, one of the best, if not the best centre in the competition.
We put King in last week. We also put Kieran in.
But looking back on that and reviewing that, he probably has been worthy of his place. I hear what you're saying, and if they can do that, then that back line is frightening. It's frightening. Field behind that, and then what's in front.
Yeah,
it's scary.
and that's it. It is, yeah. and at the moment, and this is it. At the moment, we're not really giving Catalan much of a prayer. It gets better, Catalan Dragons fans out there. It does. Well, I think it does anyway. But yeah, Matt Peat strike right across the pitch, but I do think that left edge, if the left edge of Catalan isn't firing, that could be critical, unless it's a real tight battle like we saw at the DW. Yeah. The bad news for Catalan, I feel, is, well, maybe not, actually. It depends. And I'm thinking of the DW game when I say this. The weather looks fine on Saturday, which is great for the neutral. It's great for us because we're going to have a dry final. And I think that's fantastic because it's going to allow us, hopefully, to be truly entertained with some great flowing rugby league. But yeah, it's the pace in that back line of Wigan.
Yeah,
and incredible.
If we'd have played this, if the grand final was in the middle of June when we had that heat wave, I'd have fancied Catalan.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's going to be a dry game at least.
So at the moment, we're almost saying this is not even a contest, but of course we know that it is. 66-64 is the aggregate score. We've already shown that. So let's start giving Catalan Dragons something to smile about with this. Goal kicking. Goal kicking, for me, could be vital. It is vital in every final. And what we know about these two teams, these tend to score on the edges. Both teams do. These stats actually got better at the weekend because both Harry Smith and Kieran had perfect kicking percentages. Harry Smith has rose to 64.3%, Kieran up to 78.2%. What we saw with Kieran, especially that one to make it 6-6, he's got the temperament to do it in big games. We know that he's got that. Catalan's got that Kevin Sinfield about at the moment. Let's just get the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah,
Harry Smith, you don't know what. Don't get me wrong. His kicks in general, playing attacking kicks, there's no living with him. His kicking game on the field of play, incredible. Has been all season. But finals can be a lot of the time about just moving that scoreboard along. And at the moment, you don't know which Harry Smith's going to turn up. The one that went 7 from 7 against KR, or the one that can't hit a cow's backside with a banjo. You just don't know which one it's going to be, do you?
No, and that's been Wigan's problem this season. Harry Smith is a talented player. And I think that's why they brought Kieran in to make sure that, or to take that pressure off Harry Smith. I think, and I'm not no psychologist, and I'm not get any inside information. But I think it probably played on his mind a lot early doors this season that his goal kicking wasn't brilliant. And the more his goal kicking has improved, the better player he's become this season.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. But here's one for you, mate. And again, when you consider how many points Wigan have scored this season, Harry Smith has missed 52 goals this year. Frightening.
That's 100 points. 100 points. Yeah.
It's frightening. It really is. But yeah, like I said, Catalan fans, don't worry, it gets better. If it's a tight game and it comes down to kicking, the edge based on form and temperament this season, albeit Harry 7 from 7, but you'd have to give it to Catalan.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
Last minute penalty. I know I'd rather be taking it.
100%.
To win the game.
And the news gets better. The news get better. The men in... Oh, sorry, no, that's next. The news now goes badly again. The news goes a bit bad again at this point. Sorry, Catalan fans. The men in the middle, of course, Harry Smith is one of them. Again, you're talking about that backline field, all that. And then you've got Bevan French to contend with. 21 tries to 7 and 55 assists to 37.
Yeah.
So again, we know that the halfback combination of the Wigan Warriors more potent. Now, Bevan French has had 17 of those 21 tries and he's made 32, 55 assists. That's how important. Now, here's one for you. And I don't want this to happen, but in a Joel Monaghan kind of way, if French, for whatever reason, didn't finish the game on Saturday, well, that'd be a leveller.
I don't think so, because I think they pushed Jay Field in there.
But he weren't great there.
I think he's still got that X factor.
But then you're going to put the fullback.
Depends who's on the bench.
There's nobody on the bench.
I think Wigan are good enough to have probably a flat back 5 with just somebody filling in. Maybe pull somebody in off the wings.
Dawn's not happy with me. Well, but look, injuries happen. Injuries.
Well,
I'm not saying it's going to be done.
The injuries to Monaghan and Ratchford cost us in our grand final a few years ago.
Exactly, injuries happen. Injuries happen in the game of rugby league, and what I'm basically saying here is that Bevan French, man of steel, as far as we're concerned, he's massive in this game. If Bevan French is allowed to do what Bevan French can do, then Catalan have got big problems. But again, it's a mismatch. The halves of Wigan are going to take Catalan on.
Faster, more skillful. Tyrone May's a great player.
Yeah, well, May, he's got 3 of those 7 tries, and actually May's made 23 of those. He's
got for a big man, he's got deceptive skills. But Bevan French is the man. Bevan French has got Harry Sunderland written all over him.
Yeah, and I want to see him. One of the things as a neutral going to that ground on Saturday, I'm going to have the pleasure of watching Bevan French for 80 minutes. And
I don't want to see injuries to any player in any game.
No, I'm just being mischievous. I'm just being mischievous. But what I'm saying is it's vitally important that French plays the 80 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Being mischievous.
That's a good word, mischievous. That's how posh people say it, mischievous.
I'm going to be more mischievous as well, because we're going to finish off the spine. Oh, well, obviously we get to lose forwards in a minute. The Master against the Apprentice. I think Brad O'Donnell
O'Neill
will play. Sorry, Brad O'Neill. Will play. He'll start for Wigan. And then Mickey McAlorum. Now, forgive me one and all. I am now going to quote Mr. John Wilkin. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I am. I'm going to quote Mr. John Wilkin.
Well, forgive me if I fall asleep halfway through, sir.
It's a very quick one, though. It really is a very, very quick one.
If it's John Wilkin, it won't be.
No, it is. It's as quick as this. The dark arts. What we know about Mickey McAlorum. Is that, let's be honest, now Mickey, if we're going to take bets for sendings off on Saturday, Mickey would be right up there. But what Mickey McAlorum brings, that for me at the moment, Brad O'Neill doesn't bring. I think O'Neill's going to be a phenomenal player in the long term. I really do. But what McAlorum does in defence and in terms of getting in the very Pappy like. He'll go up against the big lads. He'll niggle him. He'll try and upset him.
Yeah.
You know, he's the Dennis Wise. He's the Dennis Wise.
McIlroy is what the Aussies call a grub.
Well,
he winds up. He does the little things that hurt players. He is well versed. He is the Voldemort of rugby league. He is that well versed.
Oh, beautiful similes.
Arts.
Loving the similes. But yeah, I mean,
he is the hooker that shall not be named.
But no, to be fair, we know that Mickey Mack will be that type of player come Saturday. And actually, if McIlroy is on his game, maybe not for flair, maybe not for tries, but just for his hard work and graft, could be a game winner in this game. He could be. Because he'll force the knock-ons, he'll wind them up so they don't play the balls right, all of that kind of.
And he'll have his hand in there, and
big time.
He'll know when to pull the arm out so it looks like a knock-on.
Big time.
He's well versed. He's Sean Wayne's perfect player. Is
big time. So for me, Catalan, we said goal kicking. I think the battle of the hookers. I think Mickey Mack, his experience and what he can bring to the game is a real positive. And
I might be wrong here. For that reason, I think Wigan, if he's fit, might start with Sam Powell.
For his experience.
Maybe.
I will concede that all day long.
I could be 100% wrong.
Let's move up into the pack. Now, we've selected, again, from the semi-finals, who we think is going to be in and around the packs. We've gone with these three. Of course, we know on the bench there could be the likes of Harvey Hill, Desiree, Takiaho. We know that. But these are the three that have been thereabouts in and around the squad all season long. And as you can see, it's advantage Catalan. It is advantage Catalan. 290 average, plays 241. But not just that. Those Catalan forwards have scored 8 tries between them this season to Wigan's 5. So stay there, Chief. Oh, Greg's having a moment. We'll just allow him to get back into the room.
Yes.
But as you can see, 290 plays 241. That's advantage Catalan. There's no question about that. It's going to be interesting to see if Catalan can keep this game narrow. You know, we've talked about what these two sides need to do on the day. We know that Wigan have got strike on the edges. They could absolutely burn Catalan in this game. They could. We know that Catalan's got a bit of, the likes of Johnson on the left-hand side with Kieran, who've been doing well all season long, with Whitley thrown in for good measure. But if Catalan can keep this attritional down the middle of the field, with the likes of Mickey Mack in the hooking positions, with these three burning the meters down the middle, it's possibly Catalan's best opportunity of winning, for me, the grand final. They need to squeeze the field, they need to keep it compact, and they need to go down the middle. If they do that, we're okay. If you've been staying off screen just to see how long I could go on before you come back on your bullet. That's all I was going to say.
I was asleep, to be honest.
Oh, fair enough. Right. So you've heard what I had to say. What's your
Here's in. Don't swallow a fly when you're live on air. Yeah, what you said. No, I think, Cade Ellis, he's had an in and out season from what I've seen of him. Busquets been an absolute stupendous player, as has Navarrete. Yeah. My favourite is Mike McMeekin. I think he's been
and he'll play in there. He'll play in the props. He'll play.
Definitely, yeah.
He'll play in the front row. So, like I said, that bit down the middle, if they can keep it attritional, that for me is their best hope. As we go then into the back row, what back rows these are? Kai Pearce-Paul, his final game for Wigan before going to the NRL. Liam Farrell, we rave about him. Yeah. Right. Allow me to talk you through my observations going through the stats on this one. We know Farrell is class. We know he is. He has scored 9 tries, which is the most of any of those people there on the screen. We know has got that level of strike. However, if Catalan can get on the front foot, this back line has scored 18 tries to Wigan's 9 this season. This back line has made more tries. They've made more tackle breaks, 154 to 123, and they've made more clean breaks, 20 to 12. So if Catalan can get on the front foot, what we know about Catalan's back line is that as an attacking force, it's slightly better than the Wigan Warriors. which could be seen as a massive advantage if they can be on the front foot.
And that is, that's incredible. That's incredible stats. But you've got the Liam Farrell factor in there.
Which
and
is?
He's the difference, I think. Liam Farrell is the difference. And he is a player that if that back row is being battered, he will drag them up by the bootlaces.
Well,
go on.
It's funny you should say that, because the biggest the biggest tackle buster on that screen is Farrell with 70.
Yeah.
He's head and shoulders. He's also comparable to the Catalan backline with 7 clean breaks this season. But here's the kicker. Sorry, Catalan fans. We get into detail here at Super League Raw. As good as all that sounded there for the Catalan Dragons in terms of if they're on the front foot, there's a big, big problem here. A big, big problem. And that is the man that's going up against Liam Farrell, Paul Seguer, has missed 92 tackles this season. 92. Let's put that into context. Farrell has missed 34. That's putting that into context.
And that is poor by Farrell standards.
Yeah. But for 92, it doesn't get any better with Matt Whitley either. 62. We know that on both edges, these second rowers are going to be blitzed throughout the game. And when I put this together for tonight's show, that for me, of all the things we've shown, is as big a stat as any as where this grand final could go, because Seguer and Matt Whitley have got to be better than that in defence come Saturday, or Wigan could quite frankly destroy him.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, however, I mean, Morgan Smithies, he's well versed in the dark arts as well. So he could counter McAlorum on that front. Yeah. But for me, as I said, I don't care how good your back row is, when you come up against somebody like Liam Farrell, all three of you have to up your game just to deal with that one player. And when you're doing that, that gives license to the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big problem.
Field day, and that is the problem. And, Liam Farrell has been, I honestly think Liam Farrell has had not a poor season, but not as consistent season by his incredibly high standards. Again, man of steel, if ever there was one, Liam Farrell, as far as I'm concerned. But he's still the best second rower in the competition by a country mile.
I agree.
By a country mile. And that is the problem that Catalan's pack has got. Yeah. How do you deal with Liam Farrell?
Spot on, mate. Spot on. He's going to be a big one. So, like I say, there you go. That's we've gone right the way through what we think the starting lineup will be. Then it's going to be a case of this final start, mate. We're edging towards Wigan, but hold your horses. Hold your horses. How have these two teams compared against the top 6 this season? Well, we know that Catalan have fared pretty well against Wigan. We know that, albeit they're 2-1 down. 2-1 up, sorry. So the 2-1 up against the Wigan Warriors this season. But look at that, St. Helens, 3 from 3. That's not to be sniffed at. Wigan, a win and a loss. The Robins, similar. Wigan, with that Challenge Cup game thrown in, obviously that got on one of the wins. So 2 wins and a loss, 2 wins and two losses for Wigan. Both have done the Leopards 3 times. Wigan have done the Wire 3 times. Catalan, we know, had their difficulties in the early season against Warrington before the you-know-what hit the fan. Yes. So, before we give our predictions for the grand final, we've gone through every position. We think Field has got the advantage of the back. We think the three-quarter line of Wigan is solid. If it's a tight game, we think Kieran could be the game breaker, the game winner with his goal kicking. We know that the halfbacks of Wigan are better. McAlorum, does he edge it against O'Neill? Then we know the pack of Catalan is more potent down the middle if they can squeeze it and keep it central. And then there's advantages and disadvantages in the back row. If Catalan are on the front foot, like they were at Magic, we know that Whitley and Seguer and Garcia can run them up in attack. But then there's that little caveat of Liam Farrell and the missed tackles. Really interesting. The last stat, before we have a quick look, the last stat is this one. When we factor in everything, the top 6, Wigan have a 71.4% win ratio against the top six. Catalan have a 73.3% win ratio against the top six as a measure across the season. Wigan are in form. Catalan have it in their locker to be superb. There you go. Now, there might be a lot of flannel on other podcasts and other stuff that's coming this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But we've got into some proper detail there. The time has come, Greg. The time has come. Who are you going with and by what score?
Right. First of all, I really, really, really hope that the Catalan fans cross the channel, march up country and storm Old Trafford and make their presence known. There'd be nothing better than seeing than 7,000 or 8,000 Catalan fans in there, and I hope they do. I really hope they do. And I think they are going to. I think the Catalan fans are going to see their team lose by 18 plus to Wigan.
Yeah, and you know what? It breaks my heart. But as I've gone through all of that, to put all of that together and looked at it, I've tried to make a case for Catalan. I think the fact that Wigan are 10 from 10, I think in every department other than central, can Catalan keep it central? Can they do what they did with Saints? Make it an arm wrestle. If they can, they stand a chance. If Catalan win, I can't see it being more than 1-8. I really can't. It's going to be those goal kicks, I think, that possibly does it.
I think St Helens tried to make it an arm wrestle on Friday night, and they fell victim to their own tactics because Catalan like that. Like they like an arm wrestle, Catalan, and they can win an arm wrestle. I think Wigan can. I don't think Wigan will rely on the arm wrestle. I think Wigan have got the pace and the power down. Firstly, the power down the middle, and then they've got the pace on the outside. I think they've got the creativity of Field and French. They've got the class act that is Liam Farrell. They've got that bit of grubbiness in Morgan Smithies. I think I would be surprised if they start with Sam Powell and bring Brad O'Neill off the bench for his experience. I would love to see Catalan win the trophy. I think it'd be a breath of fresh air for the game, but I just can't see past Wigan winning this and by it. I think it'll be close in the first half, and then I think just Wigan will run away, and I think Wigan will win by 18 plus. Yeah,
well, it breaks my heart to say I agree with you. I just hope it's tighter than we think it will be. I want it to be tighter than that.
I would love nothing more than a Golden Point grand final.
Yeah, like we saw in the NRL, like we saw in Perpignan on Friday. Last 5 minutes, it's in the melting pot. It can go either way. That's what we want. That's what it's all about.
You've got to remember that Wigan success. I mean, it hurts me to say this as a Wire fan, but I've said this in the grand finals we played against them. We were 16-2 up with almost half-time approaching, and we lost 30-odd 16. They have that winning mentality. It's ingrained in their psyche. They know how to. Wigan and to a lesser extent Saints recently, they know how to win these big games. I think Catalan's grand final was against Saints on Friday, unfortunately. I think, and
do you know what, we haven't mentioned that the fact that was a proper game of rugby league.
Yeah, that was bruising. That was a bruising game. Whereas Wigan,
mate, if all I will say is based on what we've done there tonight, which I consider, I would love, if anybody finds anything that's more in depth than that, please let me know, because I'd love to watch it, because I like my stats, I like my detail. But we have gone through that with a fine tooth comb. We haven't mentioned the travel either. If Catalan were to win this, for me, having had that game on Friday, then the travel, the Wigan team that has been absolutely exceptional for the last 10 rounds and beyond this season, the quality, the flair, as a neutral, and I'd like to think even Wigan fans after the hurt would have to salute them and say, fair play, boys.
Yeah, as we did at Wembley a few years ago, we said fair play to them. It hurt us.
Yeah, it hurt us.
But they outplayed us on the day. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
It would be nice. It would be lovely to see a new
Wouldn't it be nice?
It'd be
Wouldn't
lovely.
it be nice?
Lovely.
Right, let's get into
Still
the
going to happen, I don't think.
Dawn Baker sees Warrington. God, I wish.
I wish.
Wigan 1-8. That'll make a laugh. Dave Pye Wigan by 16. It's Wigan. There's not an awful lot of love for Castleford. Catalan in the chat. Where am I going?
Warrington Castleford.
I know.
That'd be a final.
I'm tired. Graham Parish, Catalan by 8. So he's gone Catalan there. Greg, I really enjoyed that grand final preview. I think you like me. I just can't wait for the Jolly Boys out come Saturday.
It's going to be no matter what the result, it's going to be a great afternoon.